What's up, guys? We're back again today. Happy Father's Day to y'all who are fathers out there. I wasn't gonna do a video. I've had a lot going on. Truck breaking down. No one will work on my truck because it's a custom lift on it. All kinds of headaches, but I'm back at it. So Hifonics just recently revamped all their amplifier lineups pretty much. So they have a lot of new models out. I'm going to be doing a few of them, and they look real interesting. So a lot of changes. So we're going to check one out. Today we're checking out a smaller HCM-1200.1D 1200 watt monoblock. Now this is rated on the specs at 1200 at 1 ohm, 600 at 2 ohm, and 300 at 4 ohm. So we'll see how it does. But it looks nice. It's got the brushed black aluminum finish. No lights on this one, which some guys prefer, some don't, but it's got like the nice silver chrome looking Colossus logo. Now it has a small footprint, but it's a little bit thicker because this is a half bridge. So this is pretty small for a half bridge. And on this end we got a clip indicator. That's nice they added that to the amplifier. 2 RCA ins, 2 outs, your low pass, high pass, bass boost, and sensitivity, which is the gain. And you have end cap venting on here. Now, this is pretty small for a 1200 watt. And on this end, we have a power protect light. Looks like 12 gauge or 10 gauge speaker outs and 4 gauge power inputs. And those are straight power inputs. I know some of the Hifonics amps have angled ones and it makes it a little bit tricky sometimes. But these are straight out. They just have like an angle on it for this Allen screw. But the power wires just go straight in, which is nice. And they also give you some cool stickers. And this is another thing I really like that they did. They put a power protect and clip indicator on the bass knob. So that is cool. I think every sub amp should have a clip indicator on it. And then the power and protect light is a bonus. So these bass knobs are pretty simple, but they're pretty good. They don't get sloppy and wear out fast. They stay tight. So, and then you get your bass cable. So we're going to go ahead and hook this thing up to the dyno and see what it puts out, see how close the numbers are. And again, I'll be doing some other ones in this series because they have a lot of new amplifiers. So HCM-1200.1D, let's go ahead and get this thing hooked up and see what it actually puts out. Alright, so we got it all hooked up. Here's a look at the bass knob. When you first turn it on, it goes red. It does its cycle. Red is protect, and then it goes to blue. And your clip indicator. Alright guys, let's see how close this thing gets to its box ratings. Alright, so we're going to start with the 4 ohm certified test. This stops at 1% THD. So we're looking for 300 watts at 4 ohm. So let's see if it can do it. It's a pretty easy number to hit. So 562, so yeah, it did way overrated. So that's good. It's a good start. All right, let's go ahead and do the uncertified test and see what it does. Maybe it'll get a little bit more. So far, man, it did way overrated. All right, uncertified all the way up to clipping. About the same, 572. So that just means it's putting out clean power all the way up to its max. So for the 300 watt, it's almost putting out double. So I'm curious to see what this thing does at the 2 ohm and 1 ohm. Let's go ahead and try dynamic burst. All right, so 587 dynamic. So that's a little more. That's almost basically double the rated power. So very good so far, man. I think Hifonics is going in the right direction. Putting stuff with ratings that are accurate. You know, there's a whole different crowd of car audio. There's the guys who just want to go buy a daily driver amp and they probably don't care, but then there's the bass heads who want to see the numbers, want to see those accurate ratings, which is important and it means a lot. So I'm glad to see so far this one's doing way overrated. So very good, very good. All right, let's move on to that 2 ohm test. All right, 2 ohm box specs say 600 watts. So let's see what it does. Well, it overshot the 600 watts. So we got 824 watts. Woo! At 2 ohms, certified to 1% THD. The efficiency seems very good too. Man, this amp's killing it so far. I think they're doing a really good job. All right, let's do uncertified. See if it does any more. So far, this amp is kicking it. Kicking it one time, boys.
Yeah, boy.
887. Wow.
Whoa.
This thing is small too. It's a little thick, but it's got a small footprint. So let's do dynamic burst. Wow, man. 923 watts dynamic. Dynamic is short bursts. It's true power. It is real power. It's just what the amp can put out for like if you're listening to rock or regular music with a kick drum. Do. That's what it's putting out. Not for long-term sine wave or long drawn-out bass notes. So that's the difference with dynamic. It is real power. It's just for short bursts before it's relying straight on the power supplies. So very good, man. I'm excited to do the 1 ohm test. It's like, you know, it's going to hit 1200 at 1 ohm. Look what it did at 2 ohm. All right, can it do the 1200 watts? I'm sure it probably can. It did really good on the 2 ohm and 4 ohm tests, but we will see. And 887. So this must have regulated power supplies like some other guys were saying. I did an amp recently to where it limits what it can put out to not stress itself out and get damaged. Let's try uncertified. Oh, there it goes. So we got 1166. That is right there to that 1200. So yeah, this definitely must have like a regulated power supply to where it's limiting the current to where it doesn't mess up the amp, which is a good thing. Also, guys, when you run subs at 1 ohm in your car, usually they're not at 1 ohm because of impedance rise. So usually, like if you run 2 subs on this, they're going to be closer to that 2 ohm number, you know, anyway. So it's almost like when you look at an amp for its 1 ohm output, you really want to look at closer to the 2 ohm output, because with impedance rise, that's kind of more realistically what you're going to be getting, you know, sometimes even less, but just FYI. All right, so let's go ahead and do dynamic burst. Oh, there we go. So we got 1370. So this thing, I mean, uncertified was right about just under 12, so I'm going to call that a pass, man, especially with those 4 and 2 ohm ratings. And then 1370 dynamic. This is a little powerhouse amplifier, man. And it's kind of good that they put, you know, maybe more companies should start using like regulated power supplies, because it would just keep stuff from blowing if the amp maybe is trying to do more than it's meant to do. But very good. Let's go ahead and get the back off this thing, and I will put a chart up with all the efficiencies and all the final result ratings up after. And let's just go ahead and take a look at the ratings right now, and then we'll do the gut shot. How about that? All right, let's check out the results. So first off, this amp was really efficient. If you look at the certified efficiency, it's all over 80%, which is excellent. Not a lot of amps do that. On uncertified, the efficiency is still not bad. Every amp is going to have lower efficiency on uncertified, because you're just kind of pushing the amp past where it stops making power, and it just keeps trying to make more, so it keeps drawing current. But the efficiency was excellent. On certified, 1 ohm came short. I think that has to do with the limiting factor inside the electronics. All the other numbers hit it, and dynamic overshot everything by far. So that's very good, man. All right, and here are the insides. So over on the left, we got, these are all cap top brand, 25 volt, 2200 microfarad, 105 degree. And then over here, they're cap top also, 100 volt, 2200 microfarad, 105 degree, the large ones and the small ones. So typical Hifonics amp. The build quality is always pretty good on these. And this amp did really good, and the efficiency was great. Alright, and just to give you guys the measurements, it is 11 by 2 3/4 high by 5 1/4 wide. So it does have a pretty small footprint, but it's a little thicker. One thing I will say is the clip indicator was spot on with the 81, which is nice, because a lot of amps the clip indicator is incorrect, and then you end up chasing your tail because you're like, it's clipping, but it's really not. Or it's not clipping and it is clipping. So simple, but it's really nice when the clip indicator is accurate. So very nice. The efficiency was very good. I think this is about 220 bucks. I will put a link in the description below if you guys want to check it out. And if you guys could like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it if you enjoy the content. But let me know what you guys think. I was really happy to see that it did overrating at 2 and 4 ohm, and at least it did basically its uncertified rating at 1 ohm, and then it overshot dynamic. So definitely going in the right direction. I'm digging these new amps. I have a couple more of these I'm going to do. But very nice, man. I'm glad to see that things are changing and keeping up with the times. And this is a solid little lamp for sure. But let me know what you guys think. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.